Okay, so today's random location selection here is, I believe, Sherman Way and Fallbrook area. I think we're by Ralph's in a gym, and the gyms are usually extremely aggressive, and the reason for that is the template of behavior is you sign up for a gym, or in 1998 or whatever, Mike Huntley, let's sign up to the gym by your house, where Rhodey Morales with LAPD is waiting for me at the gym with a bunch of strippers and porn stars, then told to take me to strip clubs, make up lies I'm stalking, obsessed with strippers, porn stars, trying to plant trash bag of marijuana, LAPD confiscated marijuana in my house, and then you're not allowed at any gym worldwide. Okay, before that, or at the same time, you're also not allowed at any pool hall worldwide because we don't like you at Yankee Doodle's pool hall. That also applies to colleges. You're not allowed at any college worldwide because you blinked wrong. All equivalent, it's your behavior, you blinked wrong. You're not allowed at any coffee shop because you blinked wrong, or you're reading a book and rested your feet on a chair. Um, Things that don't make any sense. It's your behavior. This is a family. Yeah, well, that has nothing to do with anything. There's no behavior that's bad. There's just nitpicking, imperfection to try to justify stalking people. And normally, if it's any other person, nobody cares. So, it's about hate and discrimination masked and disguised as it's your behavior, and it starts from the Perlman family at 5 years old. And you took a walk past 6 p.m. It's your behavior. The sun's starting to set. It wouldn't matter what time I take a walk. So we're going to do these things you're not allowed anywhere worldwide. But what's it really about? Well, it's about pulling eyebrow hair starting at a very young age, and the labeling, the empty labeling. The ends justifies the means. I say he's crazy, so we're going to hunt and stalk him and make him think that what we're doing, he's defying us. His rebellious behaviors are, he yawned, he blinked. Okay, so let's start with the Ralphs here, because this applies to any place where I buy food too. Okay, because buying food is crazy behavior. And eating two backwards together. I think one's white and gray. It's hard to see. So this isn't about anything but hate and rage for a 5-year-old, and to mentally bash his skull in with worldwide groups, and then tell him it's his
Excuse me, sir.
fault. Yeah, I can't really. Hold on.
I was just gonna get like
Yeah.
$2 to get something to drink or
Oh,
something.
I can't. I'm kind of busy right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, and pairs of twos by the edge. They always do by the edge on places, especially this location, backwards there. And and I'm going to note the two white pickups together. And what happens is they sort of go, we're going to do these patterns directed at Kevin Perlman worldwide, because twos once again sort of backwards at the space, and then two more backwards here. And then it's funny to them that I have to sort of document their worldwide child rape and kill groups, which is really what's going on, masked as humorous and jokey. Okay, so we're going to head towards the gym area here. Gyms are usually worldwide, are extremely aggressive. And once again, you're seeing that everything is closer to normal in this area, but we have pairs of twos, correct? Pairs of twos backwards there. I'm talking this entire area here. You can see the pattern. It's not even... Statistically, this is beyond any level of impossible just from this parking lot alone, and I can do this everywhere worldwide, or at least US based, and that is the point, that this is the level of hatred that Kevin's imagining what's going on worldwide, and even at one place, and they're just teases. So you get the tease. There's a plan of people teasing you minute by minute till you keel over and die, and it's anonymous. And Mike Huntley's words, a world of paranoia. So we're trying to create the illusion of mental illness, paranoia. Well, that's not funny. That's not a joke. That's not a game. Pick up in this corner backwards. Once again, towards the edge backwards, but pick up backwards there, and then pick up backwards here. Okay, we're by the Crunch Gym here. Pairs of twos right here, and then there's a sort of a third one over here backwards, but we can see the pairs of twos. And then we're also going to see probably colors like two blues and two, okay, right? And surprisingly, it doesn't seem as aggressive as normal. However, we'll see. We have a lot of sort of scraggler randomy backwards that, but what's going to happen is when people arrive, he's going to choose to park backwards next to this white car backwards if he's a white car, and then that's going to sort of build the mental illness patterns that are going to make it blatantly obvious, and that's going to be met with verbal types of things too that will be blatantly obvious. Because why would it be blatantly obvious? Because the verbal things are based on, like, if I post on Facebook something, they'll mimic it to sort of try to mock me, and it'll be personal. Like the cars here, you can't tell are personal. Pairs of twos backwards together, because how do you prove that? How do I prove that the cars? Well, in Encino Starbucks in 2011, I parked backwards once in a parking spot, and that's when these things instantly ramped up. So that makes it personal. But you can't prove it, especially with a planet doing it, unless I go right onto Facebook right now, or Twitter or X, and I go alrighty then, and then everyone starts saying alrighty to me at every business I walk into at the counter, which they're doing, and they're switching and rotating things that they do. They don't stop. It goes on your entire life as they build a bag of hate directed at me, and they laugh and they snicker and they joke like it's a game, but they know it's not. They know they're doing it out of pure hate and rage. And it starts with by my family, either their hate for their 5-year-old because they think their 5-year-old is evil and they want to stop the crime before it happens type. So they want to eradicate their 5-year-old before, because I know he's going to do something, so we're going to eradicate him before it happens. Pairs of twos. Now this is interesting. Actually, there's 3 of them backwards. He's unloading. I wouldn't lump him in. Pairs of twos. But this parking lot's interesting because I think he's backwards here, great car, but most of this parking lot is ironically forwards. And that's important because if all of these are forwards and then pairs of twos backwards here together, you can see what they're doing. You can see that they are creating a unrandom pattern of coordination systematically across, using the internet as a tool to collect and disseminate worldwide and say, hey, everyone, do this in case Kevin Perlman leaves his house. These are some of Charles Sean Dinsey's death threats indirectly, is that, I'm not allowed to leave my house cage. Now, he doesn't say it directly. He implies it by his behavior and what they're doing with worldwide groups. Okay, so we got to sort of head back this direction because the battery is starting to get low. And so this is might be West Hills area, and this is Charles Sean Dinsey District. This is important. So this is lead officer Charles Sean Dinsey District, but this is everywhere worldwide, and that's important that these worldwide groups are told. What was that little jolt there? Probably a little winds. And so we got a little bit of batteries, so let's see what's arriving and showing up and pairing together. in case Kevin Perlman leaves his house cage. Um, and okay, so White backwards here by himself. White backwards here by himself. Now, probably what's happening with that is this guy arrives, one of these white guys arrive. He's looking to park next to this guy, but there's no spot, so he parks backwards. And then what you'll do is you'll see white groups form, groups of whites form, and then they'll do what they can to build these patterns directed at me, Kevin Perlman, since 5 years old. But the car one starts at 5 years old. And this guy, I think, just arrived. This white car next to me over here, by the edge backwards here. And 18% of the battery. We got time to land. Okay, so so this guy over here, I don't think was here when I took off. Right here. And you can see the point I'm making is that, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think. You can see the point I'm making here is that they see me and they do these things. Out of hatred. To create the appearance of mental illness. Okay, so we are here around, oh god, Valley Circle, I think. West Valley area. Valley Circle. And so that guy in that car. Okay, so as I landed, that guy in that car was sort of in the driver's seat, laying low, like he had the seat lying back, but he wanted me to see him pull next to me and park backwards. Now you're going to say, but why? Well, because it's a way of sort of playing provoky Illuminati mind game sick shit. Okay, so we're fighting, the sun is setting. We're going to sort of see what's around. We're by an El Pollo Loco, I believe it's right here, and the thing with El Pollo Loco is interesting, because whenever I get food, they give me like 2 sets of utensils, and it's not because I have 2 orders. And then like Alexis Amore, every time I used to go to an El Pollo Loco, Alexis Amore, wherever she is worldwide, pops online instantly. And then some of her dialogue with Jason Perlman, my brother, you're a stalker, showing that this hunt and kill the Jew since 5 years old with Jason Perlman game with worldwide groups is masked as a game, but it's not, correct? Okay, because how do you kill someone and get away with it? Okay, so this area isn't as bad right here, but if people see me, they'll pull next to me backwards, and or they'll wait with lights on, or they'll point their headlights at me. Actually, you know what? There are a good amount of stragglers here backwards. And remember that this is a worldwide thing. It's not there literally is a planet of people stalking me since 5 years old, and the police especially don't think what they're doing to a 5-year-old with a child raping, murdering family is wrong. And so let's sort of just red car backwards here. We do have those groups of whites I was pointing out on the other video. 2 whites there, 2 whites behind me. And remember, this is a worldwide thing, so 2 whites backwards together here. There's a space. We're seeing that a lot, right? Sort of a space between the pairs of 2s. And I'm hoping to get one more flight in before the sun sets. And it's interesting that before things really got bad, you would see, example, let's just use this Starbucks location that's on every corner worldwide. You would see this aisle get really aggressive by every Starbucks, and technically every coffee shop worldwide. Just as I'm explaining the gyms, well, it's your behavior at the gym. You think you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, So we're going to lock you away, and you're not allowed at any gym worldwide. That also applies to pool halls, coffee shops, colleges, any pretty much parks, any public place worldwide. Okay, pairs of twos. Well, right here backwards, while things are closer to normal. Okay, does that? And then pairs of reds trying to look like they're trying to get together back there. So that makes things more obvious because this would simulate kind of like 2011, right? Like everything's closer to normal, and boom, twos and twos and twos. Okay, Anita Perlman, you have a problem too. Alexis Moore, you're a stalker. You're a stalker. Just fabricating whatever brainwashing technique they can use to justify, make the victim, me, the target, look like he has. Oh, well, I'll accept you hunting me to kill me. Okay, let's head out here by Victoria Walker, where Victoria Walker used to live on Archer Street, with criminal defense attorney and host of the Rudy the Rubber Show, Michael Bialis, who was sent after me by Brian Longbottom, my visual effects supervisor. And this was around 98, 99, coming back from college, being stalked with corporations like Universal Studios and Brian Longbottom and Modern Video Film. And you say, God, that's a lot of corporate resources working with private entities and the police to execute a 5-year-old Jewish child, right? Okay, so you got to question what the fuck's going on, because my family's creating a fake narrative that I've done all these things growing up that don't exist. Alexis Amore, you're a stalker, you're a stalker. Just pulling shit out of her ass to cover up her stalking with everyone else, right? Okay, so let's check out by Amici's Pizza here. We sort of have some spread backwards. Wait, we have one backwards, and I guess that's it. Okay, so and then we're gonna sort of head back this way. Surprisingly, these side streets, I'm surprised we don't see like two whites, and it would be obvious, kind of like the videos I was doing out in Los Angeles and Marina del Rey, and everywhere worldwide. And we only have 10 minutes of flight time, so now Michael Patrick Huntley also lived out this way by Friar Street, who lured me back with my family from college to start Signet Services, working with LAPD and the psychology community and my family, while they were trying to plant the drugs in my house, and my father was trying to figure out how to make it look like I'm a crazy person with weapons and all that, right? Okay, so I mean, you're gonna say, God, the Perlman hatred is through the roof. It looks like probably two whites there in this big cleared out rural area, and that's important because if they can park anywhere, Y group together, and that could be a random thing, or it could or could not be a random, but with enough of them to the point where it's statistically impossible to happen. So the real question here is, how would Alexis Moore have the resources, like everyone else, to every time I go to an El Pollo Loco anywhere worldwide, to pop on the internet instantly and make some referencey comment and maybe imply that I said she's crazy or something like that and she wants revenge and things like that, right? Okay, but remember, nothing's directly said, and there's a reason for that, or rarely. Okay, 3 whites here. Okay, 3 whites there, and by the way, I can go down this street and most of these streets around this area, and you'll see 2s and 3s whites down the sides of the road. So maybe it's getting close to sunset. This battery's getting low, so let's head back. And maybe we'll do sort of a down one of these streets here, and I'll show you that the impossible is happening. Now this is West Hill, so this is Charles Sean Dinsey area, and that means that Charles Sean Dinsey is a Jew-killing territorial dog, and he's a pathological lying murderer. And he's going to do what it takes to kill imperfection, Jewish people, or Jewish people or people he labels mental illness or people without eyebrow hair. And okay, so 2 whites over here, 2 whites there. They're forwards, but this is sort of what I started to. And as our battery gets low, there. Okay, I was looking for me. Okay, 2 whites. Battery's getting low. We have less of the backwards things right now in this area. We still got a good amount. And then I'm sort of noting before we land the groups of whites that are forwards instead of, obviously the more obvious backwards. 2 whites there and 3 whites here. And we saw the whites in the other parking lot. There were 2 reds unless that's orange. And we saw the 2 whites in the other parking lot. And let's come in for landing. We're low. And so remember, I'm just selecting random locations. And this is a worldwide thing. Okay, so we're on Van Nuys Street. I think by Fallbrook somewhere. Remember, this is Dincy West Hills territory, and he has a problem with the people, his victims, having an opinion about his ongoing conspiracy to commit murder. Sun is setting. I want to sort of remember this is worldwide, but I want to show you what the streets. I've done this in other areas. I've done this in Van Nuys and okay, so 2 whites. This is an obvious. 2 more whites, I think. Yeah. Usually here is really aggressive because they don't want me going to coffee shops. Over here is usually really aggressive. This is the Fallbrook Mall. 2 whites here, very important. 2 whites here. 2 whites here. There was a setup attempt over and over with a Yassi guy, Israeli guy. That guy was linked to a key band. I think they were both Persian. Actually, Yassi says he's Israeli. I don't know if he tattoo made in Israel trying to lure me into something. These are all with Charles Sean Dincy. And his hates. I don't really want to focus too much on the parking lots because, but I'm getting, reeled into the minute by minute worldwide. Actually, ironically, this parking lot in this area looks closer to normal. However, we do have a good amount of groups of whites. 2 whites here, 2 whites there, 2 whites here, 2 whites here, and they're all forwards, which is rare because normally they're not. Then we have the side of the road, which is more blatantly obvious. Let's try to ignore the 1 billion attacks per day. 3 whites there forward, 2 whites there forward. Because this is what civilized people do. If you have an opinion, instantly by the Panda Express, there's like 6 backwards together, or maybe 10 actually. And let's sort of ignore the 1 billion attacks per day that I'm supposedly imagining. And if you say I'm imagining it, then you're involved in a conspiracy to commit murder because there's one single person out of the worldwide loop, and his name's Kevin Perlman. And 2001, Mike Huntley's death threats, world of paranoia, have a good life now. Okay, that's a gaslighting operation. How do we torture and kill someone? And unheard of. This is Dincy's behind it with Paul Humphrey. 2 whites here. Paul Humphrey, my friend since 14, working at LAPD in 1998, working with women to stalk me. And then obviously everyone's playing victim, like Alexis Amore. You're a stalker. I spoke with Jason Perlman. You're a stalker. You're a stalker. Okay, you have the motive that Alexis Amore and worldwide groups are allowed to hunt and kill over Jason Perlman's sentence. Kevin's a stalker. Okay, 2 whites there together, and the area is non-congested, right? So Dincy's statement with the Perlman family is, if I think you're a bad person, I'm allowed to hunt you and kill you. Okay, 3 whites here, and that's the Perlman family's take on life. If I don't like you or trust you, I'm allowed to hunt you and kill you, and you're the bad guy, and I'm the victim because I'm afraid of you. 2 whites here. And that's LAPD and Charles Sean Dincy's take too, is that no actual crimes committed, just someone doesn't like someone, so they're going to help the 2 whites here. They're going to help the person that doesn't like the other person, correct? We're going to help. Hey, I say that guy is a stalker, or I say this guy is a criminal, and so help me kill him. Okay. 2 whites here in an area that is, they could park anywhere, but they choose to park together, correct? And LAPD's take is that Anita Perlman says her 5-year-old is the devil child because he doesn't have eyebrow hair, and we don't know what he's capable of. 2 whites here. So everyone get together and hunt him and kill him or eradicate him. Okay, let's turn around. And everyone is in agreement. Anita Perlman says everyone can see you have a problem, and when she's talking about everyone, that's worldwide, of strangers I've never met. So everyone that I've never met worldwide can see that I have a problem. But how can they see that? Because I haven't met them yet. Well, they're trying to violate privacy. They're trying to cell phone privacy violations, computer privacy violations, Mike Huntley routing the network switch of Signity services into my father's office, where they're putting shit on the computer. 3 whites here. And then saying, well, everyone is spying on you, illegally violating your privacy without a context information, and trying to frame you at the same time. I can go into all sorts of scenarios, especially with Jennifer Hess, while asking me 2 whites here, 2 more whites there, asking me to check her Gmail because she's not at a computer, while they have Trojans and spyware agents, 2 whites there, in my computer, and then saying, well, Kevin's hacking into Jen Hess's email, right? But that's not what happened. Is I'm showing warmth and trust to a person that wants to be in my life, like Aubrey Fisher, right? You tapped your foot by me. I have the right to hunt you and kill you for what you did to me. And then they're turning around each and every scenario with worldwide groups, child raping, Jew kill armies, on each and everything, all the way down to 5 years old. So what does that mean? That means that if you're 8 years old and you're at Sunny Skies Day Camp and kissing a black girl, the Perlman family with the police and psychology community and government are looking for ways to make killing their 5-year-old look justified, or executing their 5-year-old. Then they say you're a bad person for having an opinion and saying something about it. And so that's where you know who's guilty and who's not, because people don't tell you, you don't talk or we kill you. That was Mike Huntley's death threats in 2001. Finding out, going, Mike, what's going on? And then him threatening my life, you're dead. We're going to kill you with the police and government and worldwide groups for finding out. Okay, so we're in Calabasas area. This is about 15 minutes away. So remember that, hey, someone doesn't like Kevin in that area. Why is it worldwide? And why is it worldwide since 5 years old or exponentially growing? Sun just set. We don't have a lot of time. Okay. Let's see what's around us. Alright. So we are in Calabasas area. We kind of have pairs of 2s backwards there. We have 2 whites. Once again, space. Actually, we have 3 or 4, but backwards. We got a lot of randoms here, so it's a little harder to read. Pairs of twos, backwards here. Okay, now it starts to get a little obvious, right? White Porsche backwards, pairs of twos backwards in this clearing. He just left. And everyone has an excuse why I need to be locked away and die, but they're not committing a problem stalking me with worldwide groups since 5 years old. Because Jason Perlman says, or Anita Perlman says, kind of kitty corner backwards. It's harder to prove, right? Let's go, and then this is a Taco Bell, I think. So you're going to expect that because Alexis Amore, who's deeply involved in this with Brian Longbotham of Universal Studios and Modern Video Film, my visual effects supervisor, waiting at strip clubs while Rody Morales is told to take me to strip clubs and things like that, claiming random fabrications, you're a stalker, to try to cover up what they're doing with Jason Perlman and Ron Perlman and Anita Perlman to hunt and execute their 5-year-old with worldwide groups. That she does have motive with LAPD, and it's not about stalking, it's about lack of eyebrow hair. I'll just notice sort of possibly a small group of blues, blue pickup backwards, pointing towards a blue pickup here, white backwards, this pickup pulling backwards into a handicap spot by the other pickup here backwards, and I'm just going to note that it is by a Starbucks. I'm going to note that. Okay, a black pickup here. Remember I did an older drone flight with pickup groupings. Two cars backwards together here. One is a pickup. And I think I noted on the other video that the places they get angry at me going where I relax, no relaxing for you nigger, is one of the worldwide death threats with the black community. And that's why coffee shops you sit down at, you see an increased rate of attacks. Now, ironically, that area is closer to normal. Well, note the white BMW there backwards. And the anger for a 5-year-old Jewish child with lack of eyebrow hair. Okay, then we possibly have the pairs of two white groups, but there's not enough there. I'll note the backwards, but okay, two reds. Now this is where it starts to get obvious. And we'll see if we see groupings of two reds. A higher rate of red groupings. Once again, a red pickup backwards. Remember I did the groups of pickups in Thousand Oaks. Backwards, a high rate of pickup trucks backwards, pairs of twos backwards with the space in between it. Pairs of twos whites there, pairs of twos whites there. White pickup, I'm going to say backwards. Going to lump them together with the pickup groups, which also sort of the white pickup backwards pointing towards the white pickup forwards, just like the two blue pickups back by the Starbucks over there. Let's sort of head out this direction. We have two black SUV things. That might be normal just because, or it might not, because they're the same, almost like business vehicles. I'm going to note these two reds. And, okay, pairs of twos backwards here, and then one's a red pickup backwards with the pickup groups, and we have a red trying to get next to them. So you're seeing those red groups get together, as I was pointing out back here with the pairs of twos, reds, pairs of twos. Two whites here, pairs of two whites, spread backwards there, which, you know, who knows. I'm going to note this other red because we're seeing a high group of reds. Example, as we go back way down there where I took off, there's no reds, I don't think. I don't think there's any reds. and yet this area has increased amount of reds, and that's important. Because these are things that they're doing. Red over here, but he's sort of normal. Pairs of 2s, blacks backwards here together. Once again, pairs of 2s, blacks, pairs of 2s of blacks backwards. Two white pickups backwards, not together, but so you're seeing the pickup groupings, you're seeing what's going on. Now this, I'm making them do it because of my reckless and out of control behavior of blinking, yawning, or not having eyebrow hair. Okay, and let's be realistic, it's about eyebrow hair. 2 pairs of 2s backwards here, and Anita Perlman and Ron Perlman's views that they will not tolerate imperfection. 2 cars, pairs of 2s backwards here. 2 cars, pairs of backwards. 3 cars backwards here. 2 cars backwards together here. The area is getting more congested with the mental illness tactics. And I think we're by a supermarket. Pairs of 2s trying to sort of get together. Actually, pairs of 2s here and another one backwards. This whole row is going to be aggressive. 2 whites backwards together. 2 more backwards together. At this point, you're going to go, there's just too many to. So pairs of 2s backwards. 3s backwards. 2 of them are pickup trucks. You're seeing a high rate of aggressive pickup trucks. Just random scragglers backwards that are doing it intentionally, you can see, and 3s together backwards. So you can see that there's intent directed at someone. And we are by, this is important, the Boiling Crate or something, seafood restaurant, Mendocino Farms. And this is all in the name that some random porn star who's paid off to stalk people. Pet Food Express is honest and accurate, and it's not hearsay. Bristol Farms, which you're going to say that's the stupidest fucking thing. Why does some random porn star have the ability to say some guy's a stalker with worldwide groups? Well, she doesn't. She's working with the Perlman family to hunt and execute a 5-year-old out of hate. So this is the largest hate crime known to man. I will note 2 blues forwards. 2 whites. And the 2 reds I originally pointed out. We are now by a CVS pharmacy. 2 reds, one's pulling up. This is important. So 1 red is pulling up right here, next to the second red pickup, so you can see what's going on. And then the biggest thing is, Kevin, you don't talk or we kill you. See, you're crazy. You're imagining it. You don't talk about our gaslighting, worldwide gaslighting, gang stalking groups. Or we're going to lock you away, but they're going to do what it takes to lock me away anyways, correct? Because they wouldn't be doing this if the motive wasn't there to begin with. Okay, so this guy, and he needs to park in the handicap spot, as we have the other pickup. So this blue pickup forwards, this blue pickup pointing together. Now remember that some of Starbucks forgery and fraudulent statements with LAPD is I'm supposedly harassing customers and employees, and you can see it's backwards, and usually they get more direct verbally at all businesses worldwide, not just Starbucks. And LAPD is trying to make their murder operations look like I suffer from mental illness or obsession or whatever. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This is Calabasas. Let's do a quick, before the battery is about to aerial. And you can see most of the reds are in that area. And this turns to more blues and pickups. And we gotta land.